So one of the questions that I often get asked is, how does a PhD in physics wind up as a business coach? So today I wanted to tell you the story. So I spent 30 years in high tech. I worked for a couple of companies you probably heard of. I started out at IBM in New York, and then Intel recruited me to come to California, and I was at Intel for just shy of 22 years. Early in my time at Intel, I was introduced to the Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, well, that's not quite fair. I was introduced to the book a number of years earlier. I'd read it. Funny thing about those kinds of self-help books, if you don't actually do the work, it doesn't change your life. But when I took the course, it transformed my life. And I was so impacted by it that I decided that I needed to become a facilitator. They were looking for facilitators. They were rolling it out to the entire organization. 1,500 people were going to go through this course. And so I put my hand up. I said, I want to do this because I know the best way to learn something is to teach it. So I got steeped in the 7 habits. I taught that throughout my career at Intel, and decided that as I left my corporate position, I retired, that I would hang out a shingle as a business coach, as a productivity expert. 25 years of facilitation gave me a little bit of an insight as to how to do that kind of stuff. So I hung out a shingle. And what I discovered first and foremost is that small business owners have no clue what their time is worth. Because if I'm trying to sell you improving the value of your time and you don't know what it's worth, what its starting point, what its ending point is, you can't calculate an ROI. Shortly after that, so I was getting clients, but not really to the extent that I wanted. Shortly after that, I came across a system that allows me to really grow the profits of small businesses. And I can say, I can find $30,000 to $50,000 or more in untapped revenue for any small business in under 45 minutes. And that became my calling card, and people could really quantify the value of that engagement. And that worked very, very well. In addition, in parallel, and as a lifetime learner, that's one of the hazards of being a PhD, I got into working with nonprofit organizations through the Gratitude Network, where I'm on the board, and developed a scaling program for those organizations based on some work by Vern Harnish, a book called Scaling Up, and Gino Wickman's book, Attraction, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, and really steeped in the Rockefeller habits. And now my Profit Minds growth system contains profit growth, productivity, and building business process for scale. And I find that moving between those 3 elements has really been helpful for my clients. If you'd like to talk more about it, I'd be happy to chat with you. Thanks.